Hi everybody, I'm Allison. This is Flosstube number 13. It's September 18th, 2024 when I'm filming. I always forget to give the date, so I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. This is my channel about cross-stitch, quilting, punch needle crafts, all sorts of fun stuff. Today we have a lot to go over. I do want to start with a thank you to Instagram followers, Etsy favorites, Etsy shoppers. Thank you so much. I do have an Etsy shop that supports our animal sanctuary. If you're new here, I'll talk about that later. Thank you to everybody. I've said it before, but in case anybody's new, Instagram private accounts. If I know you, I follow you back. If I don't know you, I don't, because you have a private account. I'm assuming your account's private for a reason. Wow, do I have a lot? I'm at a desk, and the desk is covered, and I've got two things over here and something else over here, and a box and a project board. A lot. Let's jump in. We are going to start with the quilt behind me. This quilt is the Tea Cakes quilt. It is jelly roll friendly. The pattern is by Bev McCullough, Flamingo Toes, Riley Blake Designs. This fabric is called Beneath the Western Sky. It's a Riley Blake designer. And then I have a white dot on dot, or a white dot on white in the background. And the quilting is all by me. I do my own quilting and long arming, and I do long arm for others. I'll put the information in the link below. I need to take a breath. I always start talking too fast. Ready? Okay. I have a whole bunch of stuff. New chart, new start, whips, finishes, FFOs, haul, punch needle, quilting. A lot of animal updates. We have 2 giveaways from last time, and this one I've got the big giveaway at the end, so you want to make sure and stay tuned. I'll just start with my new chart. This is my design. This is in my Etsy shop. Happy HalloThanksMas. Ta-da! This is stitched on 14 count fabric flare, hazy gray dyed effect, 2 strands of DMC. The called for colors are in my chart. My chart does include finishing for this. I'll go ahead and show you the back. This is a board. I gotta see what I'm doing here. There you go. That came from Michael's, and I stained it. That's why that looks like it has stain all over it. And all these measurements and instructions for the finishing are in the pattern. My patterns are PDF only, downloadable, full color. There you go. So the idea here is for all of us who are really busy, you can stitch one and done, so to speak. I've got my jack-o'-lantern, Thanksgiving turkey, and Santa hat. So I have you covered for the whole entire holiday season. That is my new Happy HalloThanksMas. I'm going to mix in some of my fall stuff just to show you, and FFOs, things that I'm working on. Let's start with, I should have put another table here so as I finish things I could move things around. I've got plastic and paper, all sorts of stuff. Let's start with my big finish. This is for the Lizzie Kate series Sal, which I'm doing with 2 Tall Stitchers on YouTube, and they're also on Instagram. Sorry, I noticed I have it on sticky board and there was part that wasn't pressed down. I talked about the frame last time, and I learned when I was framing, don't frame in text. I framed it a little bit crooked, but I'm okay with that. I'm going to back up. I stitched it on a 14 count Sand Castle Wichelt hand-dyed Jobelan, that's what it's called. I did my own color conversions with Glassic Colorworks. And if you like these charts, stay tuned to the end for the giveaway. Sponsored by Mom. Thanks, Mom. It's hard, I can't see what I'm doing through the whole thing. It's a series of 6 charts. You can get them on 1, 2, 3 Stitch, and on the back of the charts it tells you where to go to download this bottom part here, so you can space them all together if you like. It's a little crooked. That's okay, I don't mind. If you've watched my channel before, you know that I'm kind of laid back about these things. Crafting should be fun, it shouldn't be stressful. Now it's ready to hang up somewhere. Oh, and I didn't put it came with plastic. It was a pretty cheap frame, but that's okay. It's mounted on sticky board, which is why it's a little crooked. I was texting with my husband while I was working on the framing, We had one of our tortoises at the vet. I'll tell you about that at the end. And I actually had all the lines and had this lined up to put together straight, but I wasn't paying attention and it ended up being crooked, and I didn't feel like peeling the whole thing off the sticky board and starting over. So I'm just gonna go with it. Ta-da! Tuck that aside. And since Halloween is coming up, I'm going to show you two of my charts. I'm going to go like every other. So some of my stuff and some of the other stuff. How's that? So I have Happy Hedgieween, Hedgehog and a Jack-o'-lantern, and Boo Squared. You can get these in my shop. And I talked about this last time. This is a flat fold. I am going to do a flat fold tutorial. I went back in my files and I thought I put a how-to with this chart, and I didn't. And the reason I didn't is because I took pictures how I was putting it together as I went, and when I got to the end, you can see there's, let's see, a piece of sticky board here for your stitched piece. There's two pieces here, the flap that goes in the middle, and two pieces here, and again the flap goes in the middle. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces total. I had cut 4, and I didn't realize until I got to the end for the final assembly that I was short a piece of sticky board, and it would have been really confusing. So, I mean, quick how-to, just looking at it, you can see there's a flap that's held between two boards, and then this fabric goes over and it's held between the front two boards, and your piece goes on the front. But what I'm thinking of doing is coming up with another small chart and then filming the flat fold tutorial. And then this one is just all on sticky board and the pumpkin I got online and came with the string. So those are in my shop, and the fund support our Forever Home Animal Sanctuary. Gosh, I think I'm just gonna, I'll put things over here. Excuse me for leaning. It's gonna get complicated. Plastic. I've been working on the cookie cutter ornaments. These are by It's So Almost Just Fat Quarter Shop. I'm doing this as part of a stitch along Christmas cookie cutter Sal with the Stitching Owl on Instagram and Flosstube. And hang on, I have a note and I just put all my ornaments on top of it. If you watch her Flosstube number 30, she does a different finish with these. Last time I showed my first two, which were these, the stocking and the bow. So I showed those last time. And I'm trying to do 2 a month. So those I finished in July. And then in August, I have stickers on the back. So I know. In August I did the Christmas tree and the little gingerbread house, and the tart tins and the ribbon come from Fat Quarter Shop, and they also have, it's called a sticky circle, which is the size you need for these. These are stitched with the called for DMC, except I switched out 435 for 434. That's the brown because I had 435. And it's on 25 count Lugana cloth by Lori Holt. So let me put that back, sorry. A little somewhat organized and somewhat disorganized. And then for this month, I finished the angel. And the gingerbread man. I'm halfway. So I have October, November, December, and 6 more to go. So that'll get all of them done before Christmas. We need to set up our Christmas tree this year. We haven't set up our tree in probably at least 3 years. we've been so busy with the animals and work and all this kind of stuff that we just haven't had time. Hopefully this year we'll have time. We decorate our Christmas tree with animals. I have a bunch of critter ornaments, but this year it can be critter and cross stitch. Okay, there's some ornaments. Let me move those. Let's look at what other FFOs I have. I'll show you my the last two of my charts. Since it is fall, if you like fall stitching, these are in my shop. I've shown them before. I just want to show them really quick in case I have new viewers. This is the Fall Season Squared, which reminds me I need to come up with the winter one. There's Spring, Summer, Fall right now in the shop. And my Hello Fall. I designed this one last year, I believe. All of my charts, with the exception of 2, are charted with DMC. I did the Happy Hedgie Ween, and there's one called Coyote Christmas. I did those with Classic Colorworks, but they come with a DMC conversion. Wow. Honestly, there's just stuff all over the place. I have a big finish. This comes from the Bonnie and Camille Quilt Bee book. This book has this quilt, and it also has cross stitch, and I think it has some projects in it. It does. You can use some of the blocks from the quilt. They have other patterns in here besides this giant sampler quilt. And I do have quilt blocks to show you later. I started this last year as part of the Shine Bright Stitch Along with Fat Quarter Shop, and I put all the paperwork away. Sorry, but I'm done. There you go. It's big. This is on 14 count fabric flare pale gray gingham with the called for Cosmo colors. There was one change that I made. This block right here. And I made the same change in my quilt, and I just realized I actually made it the same color on the center. That's funny. I made the center of this all pink and white. In the book, these are all different colors, and I just didn't want to change the thread. So I made them all pink and white. I was looking for frames for this one, and because it's so large, they were kind of expensive. My husband says he has an idea. Stay tuned for that. There you go. I mean, look how big that is. That's huge. I usually don't do really big pieces like this. I kind of lose patience. But now that this is done, oh gosh, I hope I have it in my... I don't. I'm going to have to go grab it. I have something else I have to go grab. But now that this is done, I'm going to start another big piece. I'm going to go grab that right now so don't forget. And we're back. Since I finished the big piece, I picked up one that I already started. This is one of my project bags. I don't have any more of these in the shop, but there are other project bags. I can show them later. And all my project bags have either a charm or a zipper pull on them. I started, and I talked about this last time, this is the Time for Tea typography. This is by Bev McCullough, the same lady who designed that quilt. It's in plastic, sorry. Tilt it. This is another big chart. This is big for me. Stitch count 194 by 150. I'm stitching on 14 count. When it's done, it's going to be 14 by 10 3/4. I'm using the called for DMC on 14 count something. I forgot to write it down. I think it's the called for. It's 14 count oatmeal. It is. Okay. It's 14 count oatmeal by Lori Holt. And as soon as I finished that, Bonnie and Camille, I went ahead and started again. I had this part done and the word ginger, which is hard to see. So I'm on herbal tea up here. I had started a stitch along with this, but the only person who was stitching along with me was my mom, and she finished it and framed it already. So I'll put the hashtag down, T-type-sal. If you want to stitch with me, you can do this or any other tea-related chart. Tag me on Instagram. I'll share it unless it's a private account. We already went over that. You can see the center of this chart is the fill with the green, and I flipped it. I made the white the green. I'm going to finish it and fill it in, sorry, hair. And then I'll decide if I want to do the border around it. I do want to finish this, and after I finish this one, my next big chart that I want to work on is the Tour de France start, which I don't have over here and I'm not going to go get because it just has this like little itty bitty little start on it. But if you want to join me and stitch something tea related, please do. Let me go ahead and tuck this away. I have a lot here, and I should have, I should have grabbed a tray table or something, but instead I just decided to pile it all up. It may not have been the smartest idea, but that's okay. There we go. And then I have finish and a new start. Now I did show this last time, but he's so cute I'm going to show it again. This is the Funky Chicken Rooster from the Funky Chickens pattern by Satsuma Street. And I'm still running my stitch along for this. I'll put the hashtag on the screen, Funky Chicken Sal. And I made a tutorial for this guy, for the rooster, so I'll link that below. If you're stitching the chickens, I go step by step how to assemble these. They start out as a rectangle. These are the Funky Chickens. I stitched the rooster, and now I'm stitching this hen right here. And that's where I am. Each little chicken has a little something on the bottom. And they're up on my little square thing that my husband made for me. I have that on my Instagram, and I'll show it again at some point. Please join me for that. I'm stitching this with the called for colors on Fabric Flare Antique White Dyed Effect. It's a 14 count. The rooster, this is the rooster. He's the biggest one. He is 120 by 60 stitch count, and the hens are 100 by 50. I want to get these done, and then when I'm done with these chickens, I was working on Lori Holt's Chicken Club, and I only have the first 3 done. I want to get back to stitching those. I figure 1 chicken stitch at a time is probably enough, although I do have a whip with chickens. You can pretty much always count on me probably having something with chickens, because we do have chickens. I'm going to slide this back. Excuse me just a moment. I'm going to hold up my next work in progress. Is in one of my bags. These bags I have in the shop. This fabric is Autumn by Lori Holt, and I have a couple of these available in different sizes, and the big ones have this multicolor leaf zipper pull. The back side has fabric from her mercantile line, and if you've never watched before, I serge the seams on the inside of my bags, and these bags, this fabric line, I pieced all these on a featherweight. I pieced them on a featherweight, I quilt them on a baby lock, and I assembled them on a Juki. So it takes three sewing machines. Oh, and I serge it. I have 4 sewing machines to make a project bag. It's a little overkill, but I really like my stuff to be sturdy, and I want it to last. So I take the extra time to do that. What else have we got? Okay, this is, I'm looking for the pattern, sorry. This is Barnyard Bakery by Stitching with the Housewives, in plastic again. This one is 70 by 96. This is part of the tiered tray Sal with Sin City Cross Stitcher, except for the fact that she finished her. So if you're stitching along or you want to join, I'm just gonna keep it going for a bit until I'm done. It is gonna take me a while. I had to stop because I ran out of a color. here's where I am with that. This is on 14 count chalkboard black. Let me put something behind that. Hang on. That's better. Sorry, my nose is itchy today. It cooled off a little bit and it got windy, so I'm sniffly. Sorry. I ran out of the... Let me drop that so I don't accidentally show the chart. What was it called? Tea and biscuits. I was working on the barn, and this light brown is tea and biscuits, and I ran out. I was about here, so I had to order more, so I had to stop. Doing good though. I've got the let's see, the pedestal and the animals on the bottom to go. This Barnyard Bakery, and I have my thread, my floss, in one of these. I don't have this exact one left. I think I have some other ones. Oh, I do. I have my bags here. There's a couple of variations on these left, and I'll show those a little later. I'll do a shop update. I'm gonna pause to scratch my nose. Okay, that's better. Sorry. I do edit my videos, so there's cuts in the videos. There's also dogs sleeping back there on the couch. Sometimes you can hear them snoring. The bird's quiet today. The bird's... I think the bird is molting, and because there's like, it's a canary, and there's just feathers everywhere. It's amazing. So many feathers. Okay. Barnyard Bakery. I think those are all my current projects. There. I don't have a whole lot going because I'm trying to wrap things up before the end of the year. But I do want to show you the punch needle. I went over this last time. This is from Lori Holt's Summer Punch Needle Patterns, and I finished it. This is the first one I did. If you want to see punch needle disaster, go to Flosstube number 12. I started finishing it and then I stopped because I wanted to show you the process. I changed the design a little bit. The original design, you'll see it when I flip it around, had corners, but I decided I want to make coasters out of these. This has Mod Podge on it. It dries clear. Oh, sorry, I bumped the camera. The reason I did this is because what holds punch needle in place is the tension on the fabric. When you pull it out of the hoop, I don't want there to be a chance that if you snag something and it's not secure, you can pull the whole entire thing out. I decided I want to make coasters out of these. And I had some, you know, thin wood. They were 8-inch squares, and these are about 4 inches. And my husband cut this down for me. So the first step was to seal it with the Mod Podge. Then I'm going to attach it like that. That's going to be the bottom. That's going to be the actual top of the coaster where you put your drinks or whatnot. And then on the bottom I have some felt squares. I'm going to glue a piece of felt on it, so the bottom will look like this. And then on top of the felt I have these bumper pads. They're the little things that go in your cabinets and doors. They're just like little plastic gummy things. So I'll attach that, and then I'm going to put one in each corner, and then that'll be the top of the coaster. I have 3 more of these to do. I haven't started them yet. I've been concentrating on finishing some other things. There's so much to do. And it's one of the things about living in Arizona is everybody's kind of celebrating fall and gardening. It's 100 degrees out. I know the holidays are coming, but it's a little difficult to get into it. So I'm working on that, but I do want to finish those. I'm just looking to make sure I didn't skip everything. Okay, I did all my stitch alongs. And like I said, I didn't have a whole lot going because I was finishing things. I do have some haul though. Part of when I had to order the tea and biscuits for the Barnyard Bakery, I went back and I ordered some more of that brown I needed for the Christmas cookie cutter ones. And sorry, I'm looking at my notes over here. Because I was using 435 in place of 434, I needed another 435, but I also ordered a 434. So that if I need that for something else, I have it. Let's look at them. You can see how, honestly, for those, I don't think it's going to make a difference. There you go. So there's 435 and 434. The 434 is darker. The 435 is more golden. I actually think I prefer the one I'm using, which is 435, because it's not as dark and you're using it in those, like the gingerbread ones. I do like that. So I bought some floss, and then I bought one of these snag nabbits to help pull through odd threads from time to time. I haven't opened it yet. I was waiting to show it in case you were wondering what one of these looked like. And I did get some charts because for the month of September, so it's still going on, Fat Quarter Shop has all of their own charts on sale, so anything by It's So Emma. I bought some more of the ornaments. I've got the, I'll hold it up again so you can see it, the Christmas one, and this was sent to me by a Flosstube viewer, so thank you very much. And she also sent me the Valentine ones. She had extras and sent them my way. I really appreciate it. So I have these I'm working on, and they just released the spooky cute ornaments. Okay, you're gonna hear crinkling. Let's pull these out of the plastic, otherwise you're really not gonna be able to see them very well. There's the spooky cute. They also sell this tray. I don't need another tray. I'm not even sure I have a tray. I have a tree. And they use, even though they're black, they use the same tart tins. They just spray painted them with a Krylon spray paint. If you buy the tart tins and the sticky circles, they're in a pack of 6. So you have to buy 2. But they did show on one of their floss tubes, someone that works there made these into a pillow. The stitch count on these is 28 by 28. When you stitch it on 25 count, they finish as a 2 1/4 inch circle. And I did like the fabric on these, which is 25 count overcast. And I actually didn't have this color. I went ahead and ordered this color. I think I have every other one of the Lori Holt finished cloth colors in my probably ridiculously too big stash. But there you go. If you've watched before, you know that I do long arm quilting now. I was working, you know, as a pharmacist, and frankly I couldn't stand it anymore after about 20 years. And I bought a lot of stuff when stuff was on sale, and I always joke that I was, you know, curating a collection for retirement, and I'm not retired, of course not. I'm still working. I also help my husband with his 2 businesses. But now I'm kind of glad I have everything, because I don't need to buy very much. I'm trying to get this out of the plastic, sorry. And I really don't buy anything unless it's something that I really like and think I'm going to use. These are the springtime ornaments. Again, these are on sale. I think they're all 20% off. And they do give you all the colors and everything, of course. There's 12 in each one. Here's a close-up of what some of them look like. I gotta grab a drink. If you like dogs, this is a Turbis mug, and it's got all the different dogs on it. don't know if you can see it. So I got those. When I will get to them, I'm not quite sure. I'm only going to work on one of these at a time. I think I'll finish the Christmas, and then I don't know which one I'll start next, but I'll start one. I think it'll be something that I'll always have going. They're very small and they're fun to stitch, and you get them done fairly quickly. Don't know that I'll tartan finish them all. And then I also bought the Autumn Days. They do have a patriotic set. I did not buy those. I don't really, honestly, I don't really decorate a whole lot. I haven't had time. But I like these seasonal ones. I've always loved fall and fall colors and changing of the leaves, and we just don't have that here where we are. You can drive up north and see it. It's just hot, really hot, not quite as hot. That's pretty much what we get. And we get flowers on the trees, the desert trees, but not as much in the way of nature changes, I think, as elsewhere. And then the other thing I bought was they came out with a new book, the Christmas Jolly Bar book. And their Jolly Bars are this size. That's something they sell at Fat Quarter Shop. It's a 5x10 pre-cut of fabric. You can just cut your fabric like that. You don't have to buy a Jolly Bar. But if you buy one like this, it comes with a free pattern. And then they release books where they include some of the patterns. This one has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 patterns in it, which is really good. There's an example of one of them. There is one in here that I did buy the Jolly Bar for, and I made the quilt. I'm looking to see if I can find it for my mom, I think last year or the year before. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. I'll have to get a picture of it. And I made it in Christmas fabric, and it looks much better than this picture. This paper chains. I made it in a Sweetwater fabric. I can't remember the name of it. That's one thing about these books is they used to show fabric lines for all the patterns, but the past couple books that have come out that have been new, they're using like El Generico, and it kind of makes it a little harder to visualize what some things will look like. I do like it better with the fabric lines. I'm not sure why they made the change. See, I like looking at stuff like that better. Gives you an idea. But they're still good books, and for the price and spiral bound 20 patterns, that's really good. Let's see, what else? How are we doing on time? Oh, I forgot I paused it. I have no idea how we're doing on time. Bonnie and Camille Quilt Bee. In addition to the cross stitch, I'm working on the quilt. I actually have one block left, and I was so excited. I thought, wow, one block that I can assemble. Then I turned to the finishing. I can't really show it because it shows measurements. And you have to cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 9 different sizes of sashing, and you have to make a bunch of scrappy flying geese blocks to help make the quilt fit together. Let's see, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Okay. So you have to, after you finish all the blocks, you have to go back and make all of these. And it's hard to see at the top. It's under the title. There's a bunch of flying geese there. And there was another one. 1, 2, I can't find it. But it's on there somewhere. So I was all excited thinking, yay, I'm done, I get to put it together, but I have to do all that stuff. Oh, there it is. And there. But I brought up some of my quilt blocks to show you. In no particular order. There's some small ones. I am using Bonnie and Camille's One Fine Day fabric line. It's an older fabric line. You can still find it, but people are price gouging on it, which I don't get. You know, just, If you have something you're not using it and somebody else wants it, be nice. Don't price gouge. Here's that block that I pointed to on the cross stitch, and I did not do this intentionally. I'm getting down to the end, so I'm limited on my fabric choices, and I had pink and white for the center, the stripes, and that's what I used. I find it funny that I picked pink on the cross stitch too. Threads. And wow, there's a lot of threads on this one, sorry. There we go. This is a big block. It's hard to see that print right there, that blue one. This is my last unfinished quilt. I started the year with, and this is a quilt along, but I started the year with 12 tops needing to be quilted and bound, this being one of them. I actually have 4 folded and piled up that I need to photograph that I just finished. I wanted to get them all done by the end of the year. I'm really happy that I got through those. I also want to make sure my long arm is available for people who need quilting. If you do need quilting and you want something done by Christmas, I'll put my email below. Make sure to contact me. We want to get it going. I'm going to show a couple things from the shop, and then I have Flosstube thank yous, giveaway winners from last time. I have some giveaways, a new giveaway for this time, and animal updates. From the shop, I've got some bags left. I'll just show you one of each kind. I have a couple of each left. And I did just add my Christmas items. There's stockings, pet bandanas, some pet necklaces, Christmas jewelry, and I put everything on sale. I'd really like to clear out some of the physical goods. So I marked everything. I think I did 35% off. I don't run sales a lot because my prices are pretty low, pretty competitive, and I foot the bill for shipping. So I don't charge for shipping. I've got a couple of these left. These are, you can use them for notions. You can also use them for makeup, for travel, for bags. These stand up. They have an antique hanger pull, 2 pull tabs, and they're all different, so you need to go look at them. On the inside, light fabric on the inside so you can see everything. And they're quilted. Now I package them like this, so when they get to you, they're not squished. But if they get squished, you can actually steam iron these, and they'll puff back up. The material on the inside is called Soft and Stable. It's a by Annie product. It's amazing. And if for some reason, like if it got totally squished and you lost your fold, all you do is pinch it where you want to fold it and go like that, and then you would iron it, and it'll hold the crease. There's a couple of those left, and then I have 3 sizes of project bags left. I have the small ones for your floss, zipper pulls, whatever. They always turn around when I'm trying to show them, and they each have a different butterfly. You can take these off. They have a giant lobster clasp if you want to use it for something else. They each have a different color zipper, and again, serged on the inside. There's a loop tag if you do like a ring for your flosses and kind of stuff, or you can use these for traveling, keys, whatever. There's a few of those left. And I haven't made any additional bags because I don't want to have a bunch of bags sitting around. I'm like for these to sell, and then maybe I'll make some more. We'll see. The larger bags have the fancier zipper pull with the different colored leaves. Leaves. Yeah, this one's different on the inside, but it's still a light color fabric. There's a couple of these smaller ones left. I think, yep, just a couple. There's like a couple of each size left, so if you see one you like, please go grab it. And a couple of the, what I call it, a regular size project bag. These are 2-inch squares, then you have the zipper and the 2-inch strip on top. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, plus this. It's about 13 by 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, about 13 by 14. These are double zipper pulls. These are the Lori Holt Be Happy zippers. Okay, I just wanted to show those. Also, if you're ever going to a retreat and you need anything like a zipper pull or a fob or something, I do custom requests. Just contact me and I can make something for you. Let's do some Flosstube thank yous. If you mention me and I miss saying thank you this time, let me know. I'll say thank you next time. I want to thank Wendy at A Stitch in the Matrix Flosstube. Watch her, Flosstube number 4. She gave me a very nice shout out. She contacted me before filming her Flosstube number 4. She's also on Instagram. And she's doing a big giveaway, and she purchased from her own pocket some coupons to my shop. So you want to make sure you go and you enter her giveaway. That's on her Flosstube number 4. Thank you to Homemade on the Ridge for a wonderful mention, and I'm going to link all of these below. She does cross stitch and a lot of home decor. A lot of her stuff is just really well done. She's very talented. You should go give her videos a watch if you haven't watched it already. And I wanted to thank Stitching with My Little Lee. They're always stitching and sharing my designs. That's mother-daughter. They have private account, but I do want to say thank you because I can't share their posts. They also have a Flosstube. I'm going to link that below. I have 2 giveaways from last time. One for the fall season squared charts, PDF chart. If this is not your particular cup of tea, you can pick any chart from my shop. The newest chart, again, I'm going to show it again because I thought it was really funny. Happy HalloThanksMas. Your Thanksgiving turkey wearing a Santa hat and a Halloween jack-o'-lantern. But I asked people to be a subscriber and a comment with the word fall. And the winner to this, the YouTube name, oh, I'm going to mess this up. Rachel Pangrazio. Rachel Pangrazio 6633. I'll put it on the screen. Email me. You have to let me know you're over 18. It's a YouTube rule with the giveaways. And let me know where I can email you your chart. Let me know if you want this one, or something else from my shop. You can pick anything, that's fine. Then the second giveaway I had was for quilting. It was for these quilt block foundation papers from Fat Quarter Shop. It's So Emma. Foundation paper. And this went to YouTube name again, La Lonnie James. I'll put it on the screen. Email me. Let me know you're over 18. And for this one, I need your address because it's a physical product and I have to mail it to you. Paper. I need to take a quick drink. Then we'll get to this month's. I film about once a month giveaway. Excuse me. My mom also stitched the Lizzie Kate green flippets. She's passing along all of her charts. This is a big giveaway. We've got 6 charts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And she already printed it. So there's the instructions. And this is free, so I can show it and how to finish it there on the bottom. When you buy these charts, I'm going to hold mine up again to show you. When you buy them from 123 Stitch, they do come with these little buttons. Because my mom used the buttons in her stitching, there's no buttons. You can stitch them without the buttons. You can buy buttons, you can leave the buttons off. If you would like to enter this giveaway, this is a good one, guys, ladies. Please be a subscriber. Please like the video. Use the word green in your comment. You can comment the word green. You can write a sentence with the word green. Doesn't matter. I pick it randomly. I use one of those random picker things. Thank you, Mom. This is a really good giveaway. all the charts. So 3, 6, and the finishing. Please be a subscriber. Please like the video. It helps people find my channel. Thank you so much. Now we're going to move on to animal updates. You don't have to listen to the animal updates if you don't want to. Thank you for listening this far. I'm going to pop up pictures of the animals. Like I said, it's still hot out. Hopefully next time we'll have some of the shade cloths down. It's just starting to cool off. Not everybody's out during the day yet. I really want to get out and be able to film everybody for you. I will pop up pictures. So I'll pop them up probably in front of my face because I'm looking down as I read. If you watched the last video, you probably remember me talking about Muffin, our elderly guinea pig. Muffin did pass away shortly after filming that video. It was not unexpected. She'd been slowing down. She just went to sleep and didn't wake up. She was very old. We have somewhere in the yard for our little, they call them like little pets or pocket pets. So she's in our little pet graveyard in the backyard. We'll miss her very much. She was very fluffy, very soft. She was very friendly. Sometimes people ask if they can see the animals and if they're local and they want to come by, or they're in town visiting and they come by. She was a good animal ambassador. So we're going to miss her very much. Checkers the chicken, I'll put up pictures, is finally outside. It is finally cool enough for her to be outside. She's been in the summer been inside with us all summer. It's been really hot. So we would let her out to roam during the day and then bring her in at night. Instead of putting her back in with Mullet, Mullet was sort of picking on her, we put her with the other lady chickens. A little bit of, they call it henpecking for a reason. A little bit of that going on, but she's doing fine. Nobody's picking on her in particular. She's a shy chicken, but she's doing well and she's eating and she looks great, and I think she's much happier to be outside. I'm going to talk about a little bit about Niles the hedgehog. Niles is kind of in the same place as Muffin. Niles is very old. There is nothing wrong with him. He's eating soft food. He was eating some salmon dog food, and then he got picky, and now he only wants the chicken flavor food, so I feed him the chicken flavor. Really slowing down, keeping an eye on him, otherwise healthy, just really old. I have 2 dog updates, then I have the big tortoise update. It's worth waiting for, trust me. Libby, who I've shown before, she went almost like a month to the day. She did have another seizure. She has epilepsy. She's going to have them for the rest of her life. They're never going to go away. We're working with our vet neurologist on her medication to try and increase the length of time between her seizures. We were hoping to get longer than a month, but a month it was very short. So the new medication seems to be helping with that. Other than that, she is doing fine. I'll put up a picture of Jacqueline. Jacqueline is our rescue dog. We've had her, gosh, 8 or 9 years. And she was part of a hoarding situation, found in a room where not all of the dogs had survived. She's been very quiet. She always took her cues from Daisy, who passed away last year in June. She's since then, over the past, a few months after Daisy passed away, she started barking at my husband, and it's kind of gotten pretty bad. I end up carrying her around a lot. She's about 15 pounds. If anybody has any suggestions, please drop them in the comments below. She barks at him and wags her tail, so it's not like she's aggressive, but gosh, she's loud. We'd really like to find a solution to that. Next, I'm going to talk about Mikey, the sulcata tortoise. As I'm talking, I'm going to go through the pictures on my phone, and then I'll show them to you. I'll flash them on the screen, but going through the pictures will help me kind of narrate what's going on. Mikey was having some trouble eating. He didn't want to eat all of a sudden. This has happened before. We've seen it with these tortoises. They live outside. They're not always very bright, and sometimes they eat rocks. Well, he had eaten rocks and probably ripped off some of his shade cloth and chewed on some of that. We know he did that, but that was months ago. So he wasn't eating. We take him to the vet. I'm going to show you the vet bill here. We had the vet exam, an x-ray, let's see, 1 to 2 views, got an injectable medication for motility, to, to help him go to the bathroom, encourage it, to get him unplugged, and then sent home with some medication. So this is our bill. I blocked off the personal information just to give you an idea of what some of these animals cost. There you go. $573.70. That's kind of a breakdown. Things have gotten really expensive. The x-rays, $376 for the x-rays. The x-rays used to run about $200 to $250. The injectable med was $100. But, it's expensive. But on the plus side, he's fine. After a few days, he did start eating again. Then he finally went to the bathroom and he's taking his at-home medication, so no longer plugged up. Now he's a big giant pain in the butt. My husband calls him a one tortoise wrecking machine. He broke through the fencing. I've got a picture of that, so that'll come up on your screen. This is not easy to do. He's very strong. How much did he weigh? I'm going to look at my vet bill. 48.5 pounds. Busted through the fencing. And of course this happened during the day when it was just me at home. After he broke through the fencing, I had to pick him up and move him because he was just pushing and pushing and pushing. He was being very difficult with me. They're very stubborn. I finally got him away from the fence and I picked him up and carried him to the other part of his enclosure. And I wanted to block it off. So to block it off, I used some fencing, which I wrapped cardboard around because you want to keep them from seeing what's in front of them. If they can't see through it, they tend to not try to push it. And then to prop that up, I used a patio table and this big heavy bin that we use to transport the large tortoises when we take them to the vet. That lasted, let's see, I took a picture of that. And that picture I took at, 4:14 p.m. I went out at 4:59 p.m., so not even an hour, and he had plowed through it and got himself stuck on the patio table. So I'll put a picture up of the patio table with him stuck on it. Just some days it's just one thing after another. So there he was, stuck on the patio table. I had to get him off of that. And as if that wasn't enough, let's see, what day was that? That was on September 16th. And then I think yesterday he decided to wreck another part of his enclosure. Let's see, I'll put a picture up of that as well. September 17th, yeah, that was yesterday, the day before I'm filming. And he managed to wedge himself between the fencing and the fence post. I have no idea how he did that. So that's coming up for you to look at. That's what's going on. That's why sometimes I don't have a whole lot of time for crafts. They're just crazy. Oh, and then today I have another picture here. I'll have to pop that up of Tripod, our three-legged desert tortoise, trying to push through 2 layers of fencing and shade cloth to get to the next area over because they're boy tortoises and they're just that way and that's what they do. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm looking at, let's see, did this come out well? This one I'll just hold up. We had another snake encounter. We actually had 2, but I'll hold this one up. This is a baby snake. It was no bigger around than this, but this was at night. I hope you can see it. I'm filming in front of a window. There you go. This is another one of those same kind of snakes. Non-venomous, long-nosed snake. Just moving around at night, going out to take the dogs out. Look down, oh, hey, there's a snake. I don't mind as long as it's not a rattlesnake. If you stayed through to the end, thank you so much. Don't forget to use the word green, leave a comment, be a subscriber, like the video. Again, this is the whole Flip It series. You can stitch this, minus the buttons because the buttons have been used. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. This is probably a heck of a lot longer than I wanted it to be. I'll probably end up editing some things out. Also, happy HalloThanksMas to everybody. One and done. This is in my shop. The shop helps pay for things like Mikey the Destructor and all of our other animals. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully next time I'll have another chicken. Bye everybody.